Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. So you may have caught the shard opening video, not yesterday's, but about a week ago, the first one of 2022, where I was lucky enough to pull not just one Brogni, but two Underpriest Brognis. And I think I made a pretty massive mistake. Honestly, for all the videos that we talk about mistakes that you can make in Raid Shadow Legends, I think I made a massive one, so I want to share it with you guys in today's video. But more than that, I just want your opinions. I don't think any mistake in this game is something that you can't, like, it's not the end of the world. You know, feeding an Underpriest Brogni might be the end of the world.
The deception. The betrayal, man, you deceived me.
It might be a pretty earth-shattering mistake, and I think that's exactly what I did. Let me just say one thing as we jump into the Champions kit. Brogni. It's since Krisk, since I had Krisk the Ageless, Krisk and Rio Bonespear, I want to put him in that category of champions that I pulled that have had a tremendous impact on my account. Like champions that, Brogni is a champion. I can already tell this, right? First of all, you all know what it's like, right? You see a champion, you know their kit, but you don't own them, and you don't truly recognize what they're bringing to the table. Sometimes, even on good champions, you can be a little underwhelmed. Sometimes on good champions, you can be overwhelmed, and that's what I have with Brogni. Brogni is one of those champions where if your team's struggling in any way, or you want to better optimize your team, or maybe you want to sub out two defensive-based support champions in for a little extra damage, you can add Brogni in there. He's doing just everything. He's a maniac. So I'm already starting to slot him into basically all of my level 25 dungeon teams just to help optimize these runs, help them go a little bit faster. So let's discuss his kit, and then we'll discuss the mistake, and then we'll give him well, I'll show you guys basically everywhere I'm using this dude, right? So we have HP burn on his A1. On his A2 is an AoE attack. This is removing one random buff from all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. That requires accuracy, obviously. And then we have a 100% chance of removing one random debuff from all allies. So a mini little cleanse going on there. Sign me up. And then increase the value of shield buffs on all allies equal to 30% of the damage inflicted, okay? So this has insane damage multipliers. I think it's a 6.5 on his A1. I think a 6.6 on his A2. But his base attack is very low, 782. So he's actually not dealing that much damage off of his A1 and his A2 abilities. Resilient Glow is A3. We got block debuffs for 2 turns. We got increased attack for 2 turns. We have a great shield equal to 30% of his max HP. So prioritizing HP is going to be great. And then the shield cannot be removed. This is all on a 3-turn cooldown, ladies and gentlemen. But what I really wasn't ready for is just how much damage we can get off of this passive here with the tier 6 Mastery Giant Slayer. So whenever an ally under a shield buff is attacked, reflects 25% of the damage inflicted onto the shield back to the attacker. Also heals that ally by 25% of the damage inflicted onto the shield. Sign me up, man. This dude's a boss. He has resist in Doom Tower battles by 60 as the aura as well. In terms of masteries, man, I went right for it. Not even messing around. I went with the Giant Slayer because all of that reflect damage off of that A3, well, that's going to go ahead and have a chance to proc that Giant Slayer mastery. So that's going to equal to just a ton of damage, which again, I will show you guys. It's a shame. We had back-to-back days with Force Affinity Clan Boss. At least... Does that even, I didn't even know that could happen. I thought it switched every day. Or maybe I'm making that up. Either way, I went to record this video yesterday and it was Force and today it's Force. So that means that it's a sucky affinity matchup because I was ripping some 100+ million on every key against Spirit and Magic Affinity with Brogni on my team. But it's going to be a little bit less overwhelming than that is. But still, I'll show you the team using some of the gauntlet strategy, right? There's so many different variations of the gauntlet strategy. The Endless Shield, essentially, where you are basically using a buff extender from Krisk, Sandlash Survivor, Godseeker, and Neri, champions like that, to make the shield go even longer. So the shield is pretty much endless because he's coming back in with the A2 and fortifying that same shield, right? This dude's a boss. So lasting gifts, obviously, I went for all the healing in the shield. Keep in mind, he does heal off of the damage that the shield receives off that passive as well. Shield Bearer is a must on this champion. I picked up Lore of Steel. And again, the most important is Giant Slayer on this champ. So that's what I went for masteries, guys. For artifacts, I didn't put them in any set, right? I got Immortal and Perception on him. His accuracy is a little low, but his stats overall are insane. With the Empowerment and the Faction Guardians and my Great Hall, which is maxed as well. I just maxed my Great Hall finally. I was kind of slow playing it at the end because I didn't want it to be over, you know? We're, you know, boss status here. Almost 100k HP. We've got a little bit of attack there, almost 2k. Defense, almost 3k. Speed, he's fast, 248. I like my my block debuff champions. And, well, everything that he does. I like those champions to be fast, right? 98% crit rate. You can run him lower than 100% crit rate on this champion. I watched actually a few guides before I made this guide, and I saw that a couple people, Murder Inc., one of them, a couple people who know more about raid than I do, were like, yeah, I run him at like 50% crit rate. So make your own decision. I want to get as much damage as I possibly can out of that A2, especially to strengthen my shield. So I am aiming for 100% crit rate on this champion in today's guide. We have 122 on crit damage. And again, 321, actually a decent amount of resist here, and the accuracy. So what's the issue here? I'll show you the artifact pieces as I tell you about my epic mistake. Look at this, by the way. I went HP percentage on the gauntlets, and I got one of my, I don't know, third, I think, quad roll I've ever had on this account. 4 rolls on crit rate. Yeah, buddy. So a great piece for Brogni. It's almost like it's specifically for him. Again, we want that HP because that shield is based on his HP, 30%. HP as well on the chest to get a couple speed substats, and then speed on the boots. Again, nice crit rate on the substats. I'm basically putting my best stuff on this dude, right? Because he's one of my best champions. So I went with legendary on every single accessory as well. Got some extra defense here on the ring. I went HP. I went HP on the amulet, and you guessed it, I went HP on the banner as well. A lot of speed there, 23 speed on the banner. So really good gear. Not here to pretend anything else on this champ. And again, I didn't really sweat it in terms, I have a broken set, as you guys can see, also regen boots there, and a speed shield here as well. But hey, 17 speed, that's where the resistance came from apparently, right here, 42 resistance on this shield. Either way, guys, the mistake, man, I'm such an idiot. I did it not once, but twice, and I hope that some of you guys can learn from this. Go ahead and take a note here above my head. Brogni and Duchess, what do you notice there? They're both +1, right? So I pulled duplicates of both of these champions, and it didn't take long to strike me. I pulled Duchess in the shard opening video right before Brogni, so this all happened in a 2 or 3 day period. And again, guys, I think I made a really bad screw up here. What can I say? Let me start in Doom Tower with this dude, by the way. What can I say, right? Why did I do that is the question that I have for myself.
How do you tell somebody that you care about deeply, I told you so?
Empowerment's great, you know. If you can fully empower a champion, fantastic, right? It's a great thing to do if you pull duplicates of a really good champion. However, I would much rather have 2 Duchesses and 2 Brognis. I mean, we have Tag Team Arena, which is a good reason to have multiple teams. Obviously, you can also build in different ways, right? You can build one champion super tanky, just maximize HP, one for a little bit more damage, more speed, more versatility. You can build them different ways depending on where you want to use them if you have 2 of a really good champion, right? On top of that, though, I mean, we obviously can use them as faction guardians if I just had 2 of them instead of just 1 of them. But in some cases, I think not in Dwarves, but in Demon Spawn, in Duchess's case, I already had a full faction guardian, so that didn't really matter there. However, for Hydra Clan Boss, both Duchess and Brogni are beast mode, and I can only use 1. I can only use them 1 time. I can't use them on 2 teams. You know, tag team to a little extent, but Hydra Clan Boss, and it does seem like Plarim's going in that direction, right? Where content that has been coming out, a lot, again, Tag Team and Hydra, they're requiring us to use more teams, more champions than just the traditional 5 or even 6 now with Hydra Clan Boss per team. They want us to have to use a variety of different champions, and having duplicates has been really advantageous. So what the heck was I thinking, man? What the heck was I
You weren't thinking, were you? No.
I'd rather have 2 Brognis than to get freaking extra 10% on my Brogni of a couple stats. So now I'm in a real pickle. If I pull another Brogni, what do? Do I go to empowerment level 2? Or do I just learn my lesson and build another Brogni? I think I would actually learn my lesson and build another Brogni. So I mentioned all that, guys, to say, listen, first of all, to have an even better version of Brogni because of the empowerment. Again, not the end of the world. It's not ruining my account or anything crazy like that. However, I do think it was the wrong decision. So I wanted to share that experience with you guys. I'm honestly a little bit embarrassed about it because it seems very obvious now. And I'm sure, look, if I look back at those videos now, there'll probably be a couple people in the comments saying, Ash, I don't know. Why don't you just build the copy, you know? But either way, I wanted to share because maybe it happens to one of you guys, right, in the future. So here we go. We have Brogni just duoing the hard version of the Frostbiter right now. This dude's good against every Doom Tower boss, right? I think I'll probably be slotting him in against most Doom Tower bosses. This team is Ignatius and Brogni. No big deal, man. That's all you need because of that shield. You can't remove it. It's healing you. It doesn't go away. We got block debuffs. We got increased attack, which doesn't really matter. A little bit extra damage off of Brogni, obviously. You're extending those shields that can't be removed. So I'm already finding him so powerful, you know, in a variety of different ways against every single Doom Tower boss for the most part, right? So Doom Tower bosses. Where else am I using this dude? Level 25 Ice Golem. I want to show you that dungeon next. And in the arena, I'm using on one of my tag team arena teams as well on kind of a go second team, kind of a hybrid team, right? Still has a fast speed lead, but it's not super fast. It's not my best speed gear, right? So I have it a little bit tanky as well, champion like Brogni and somebody in a shield set as well. I'll show you a couple versions of an arena team and of course clan boss. So a lot to show you guys today. Finally waiting for the Frostbiter.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
What I think I'm going to do actually is probably cut out the arena. You guys have probably seen Brogni in the arena before. If you haven't, go ahead and, Google Platinum Arena in Brogni. There's plenty of videos out there. And I want to focus on, okay, nope. Not doing it on the video. It doesn't waste anything. It's just a key anyway. You guys get the point there, right? Nice duo. I want to show you Clan Boss, though, because that's where he's made the biggest impact on my account. Let me check Hydra, first of all. I did the dumbest thing, man. Has anybody done this before? Nope. So you can't even see the team that I used him on. But check out this team right here, right above me, right above my head, right? Dude, on hard, I forgot to regroup in time. I made so many dumb mistakes in this video, man. I forgot to regroup in time and I ended with like 1,000,000 damage on my second run. I was like kicking myself because I really want to beat, our clan's really trying to beat this, the hard version of Hydra right now. So I feel like I kind of let my clan down and I forgot a key last week. I really suck, but hey, now I'm calling myself out. So now I'm going to be better. Traditional clan boss here. Like I told you, or did I tell you, we're going against Force Affinity. So I'm going to run the team, but let me tell you, this team is not speed tuned. I haven't gotten around to going in there and fixing because of all the empowerments and, well, not empowerments in this case, but all the champion guardians. It screwed up all my speed. So then when I was adjusting these champions for other teams, I just said, the hell with it. And I went with a random speed. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch the entire thing here, but I will start it out. I'm just going to start it on auto because it's all messed up anyway. But this is the beautiful thing that we kind of mentioned earlier, right? Well, it kind of starts out all screwed up because you don't want Chris to lead into that A2 until we have all the buffs on the entire team after the clan boss goes once. Either way, it's okay. You're still going to get the point here. First of all, look at all the buffs on this team. It's an incredible team, man. I got 107 million and then 118 million damage on my first 2 runs with this team on Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. And for me, that's a lot of damage, especially considering, again, I need to go back in there, go to deadwoodjedi.com and optimize and speed tune this team properly, right? You can see that whenever somebody's attacked, well, once we have that shield up that can't be removed, Krisk is going to go in there. Again, it doesn't have to be Krisk. It can be a Neri. It can be anybody who can extend the duration of all ally buffs. And we're going to be just having that shield up basically all the time. Extended, more damage, more Giant Slayer procs. Let's see on this next AoE if we can see any of the Giant Slayer damage coming off. Sometimes it's hard to catch. Yeah, look at, I'm sure if we paused, you know what, Osama, my editor, he can help me out a little bit on the slow-mo there of the damage.
I got your back.
But either way, guys, you can see how the team works. Now let me go ahead and step away, grab a bite to eat, and come back at you guys in about 20 minutes, see how much damage we did. All right, guys, well, it wasn't that pretty, unfortunately. I wish I had better results for you to share. However, you can see in the stat sheet, unfortunately, Brogni went down pretty fast. Again, Force Affinity, unfortunate, but I had to record the video today, so here's what you get. 53 million damage still is really good, considering, again, nothing is speed tuned on this team. There was no setup, we just autoed in. You can see 13 million damage, almost 14 million damage, only being out damaged by Iron Brago here on this team. And again, that's all coming from that Giant Slayer and the HP burn that he has on the A1, and you can see the heals as well coming from that shield. It adds up, right, over the course of a battle. All right, guys, so here ending on Ice Golem 25. This is my new main squad. We have, obviously, Brogni. We have Sir Nick, who I bought in the Unbinding Champion shop. And also we have Lydia, we have Kymar, and we have Seer to get us through these first waves in 15 seconds. So after that, it's all about staying alive. And as I was saying, it depends on what champions you have. But for me, Ice Golem is the most challenging out of the traditional dungeons because you can just wipe, man. With that ignore defense on the Ice Golem and the fact that he auto attacks when you get him below certain HP thresholds on this ability right, no, this one right here. Nope, this one right here. Nope, this one right here. His first passive, Ash, when his HP drops below 80, 60, 45, 30, and 15, he's going to be dealing a ton of damage. So if you have too much damage on your team, or like me, if you have Seer on the squad and she strips away all your buffs, you have to be worried about the Ice Golem. You can see here, we actually lose Kymar and Seer, which is actually great. We want Seer to die, and Kymar doesn't add a lot of damage.
Bit.
So this is where my optimum damage will actually take place, these three champions against the Ice Golem. So this is beautiful, and this is how I want this run to work, right? I want to get to the Ice Golem. I want Seer dead once we get to the Ice Golem. I want Lydia to come in, deny the revival of the two guards, and then Seer to die right afterwards. That's why this is my best team. I have it optimized. It's not my fastest team. It's my best team because it's 100% success rate. Why is it 100% success rate? What if things go wrong? RNG. Well, basically, Sir Nick can pretty much solo. As long as he has, 50% HP or less, if things get too dicey, he can come in and solo the Ice Golem. So that's why this team is 100% success rate. Again, it's a little bit slower, but my big issue, and I'm all ears if you guys have any ideas, my big issue on Ice Golem was I couldn't get my 1 minute and 20, 30-second teams to consistently win. And if there's one thing that I always try to preach here on the channel, it is if your team's losing 25% of battles, but you have a really fast run, you're wasting a lot of energy there, right? Especially if you're just raiding, overnight. What does it matter? What does it matter if you're just raiding overnight, if you're saving a half an hour or whatever, if you're using your auto attacks? So for me, I'm always looking for a team that wins at least 99% of the time, right? Freak things might happen, but for me, I'm looking for consistency. That's what this team has. So let me know, what is your Ice Golem team and what dungeon are you spending the majority of your time in? I'm still spending the majority of my time in Ice Golem 25 because I just want the chance at the better artifacts, but I do recognize if you want to be energy efficient in terms of the cost of these battles, you're way better off going in to the stage 24, right? And farming there. But you can see, this took me 2 minutes and 49 seconds. My best time is 1:20, but looks can be deceiving. That team that did 1:20 probably has like a 40% success rate, maybe even less than that. Let me just show you one quick arena battle before I let you guys go. I like hanging out with you. What can I say? I'm actually becoming a little bit under the weather as well. I think I can beat any of these teams. This is my OP, ridiculous pay-to-win team with Brogni, Nekret, and the tandem, right? The bride and the groom, Sify and Rhodos. This team is so powerful, and it ought to be because it probably cost me about $900 to pull these champions. But either way, Nekret kind of leads things off, protecting Rotos. I can keep it on auto. It's one of those lazy teams that I'm just not going to lose with, right? Until I get to Platinum. But I can basically beat, I feel like, pretty much any gold forward team with this team because it's so tanky. You can't one-shot Rotos. You have to have a two-hitter, obviously. Even if you do, you have the Reviver in Siphi. I have Siphi built out to be super high resist. I want to say she's around 650, 700, plus another, whatever it is, 80 or 90 on her aura. So there's a lot of resist on this team as well. She can come in with the block debuffs. We have Brogni on the squad. I feel like it's not, you know, it's not fast, it's not efficient, but if you want to be lazy, maybe you're, you know, watching some Netflix in the background or whatever, assembling teams that are slow but consistent and reliable. You don't have to like sub in and out champions. I like doing that. So again, I can just pick randomly here. Doesn't even matter if they have Hegemon and Torment. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter who their nuker is. It's really effective, really strong. Having a squad like this, you can see the resist that I'm getting from Siphi too. Her resist is so high, she just comes back in here, boom, busts the team. We go next, and we're good to go, right? So I'll end the video on this note, but you know, suffice it to say, aside from my massive mistake, this dude's have a massive impact on my account. I use him everywhere. Couldn't be happier. Congratulations if you're an owner of Underpriest Brogni. Let me know how you use him. Do you use him in other ways that I haven't discussed in this video? I want to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching till the end. And as always, take care, guys.